Greetings, everyone. Rev.Hawksblood here, calling from the Big Island of Hawaii. How's everybody doing out there? So I don't see Tina around. I hope she's okay. She had serious problems last week. She couldn't come on. She's been going through a lot. Uh, Maybe she'll be able to come on. We'll see in a few minutes if she doesn't. So without that, I'm going to go into what I want to get into today. Let me just put up the chat room. All right. Now, there's so much stuff going on in the UFO world, but nothing good, and that's a problem. Hold on. Hello? Just it's a medical thing. I just gotta.
The appointment is for Thomas on Wednesday, August 17th at 1 p.m.
All right, sorry about that. I gotta go to the doctor's tomorrow. Lots of things going on with everybody, I think. So here's the thing, people. I've been dealing with so many people on the UFO world. Not one of them has the courage, or whatever you want to call it or not. Somebody just texted me in the chat room. I do. Sorry, I got a lot of things going on right now, but here's the thing, people. Let me just tell you something. All right. Now, I've been getting emails from a couple people around the world. My ex-owners of my property text me. They moved from Hawaii to Japan. And she just sent me a video of a ship that was over there. Incredible video. All right. I'll see if I can show it to you later. I got another one I just got in the mail today. It looks like a Stingray ship. 400 people were supposedly have seen it. I don't know much more about it. I didn't get into the story yet, but I just got it right before the show. I'll show you it near the end, all right? But I want to talk about the things that are happening in the UFO world. Oh, here she comes. Oh, great. Hold on. Hello. A little bit late, but better late than never. Unmute the mic so I can hear you.
Can you hear me now?
Now I can hear you, Tina.
I'm so sorry. My broadband's been down. My computer wouldn't switch on. Then it said it was doing updates. Then it sent me to YouTube. I've been trying to get on for about 10 minutes. I do apologize for my tardiness.
All right. Greetings, everybody. Rev.Hawksblood here from the Big Island. Now, this is Tina, my co-host. I'll let her say hello and talk about herself for a second. Greetings, Tina.
Greetings, Tommy. Hello, everybody. I'm Tina Bird here from Southampton in the UK, and I do apologise for my lateness. I've had a few technical issues here in Southampton. It's been raining today, and the other apology I have to give to everybody is last week I was not able to do the show. I've had some very sad family issues happening this last week or two, and lots of bad news. Apart from that, I've been fine. Over to Tommy in Hawaii. Tommy.
All right. I have, like I said, I'll show you that video later. But I'm going to sneeze. Sorry.
Excuse you.
All right. I've been dealing with the name who's been really corrupting the UFO world greatly. I did a show yesterday, Tina.
Yeah.
I'm hardcore. I listen to people. I listen to what they say. I'm the only one of the few people that. Can you hear me okay, Tina?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm one of the few people that talk about no good aliens, no good ships out there. Nobody's here to help us. All right? All these people, that talk about it say they're helping us and all these things that are going to happen. Look at the world today, people. I always say, you want to know where you are? Just look around you. Look what's happening. Are we spiritual? Are we really getting closer to loving each other? Do we care about each other? I mean, all they talk about is technology to save the planet, which is not going to save the planet anytime soon. What they're doing that's destroying it, which they never talk about. We got serious problems going on. Never mind all these alien ships around the planet, which I'm going to get into. Interrupt me anytime, Dina, but basically, I'm going to give you what I know as truth, people, not lies, stories. Well, I believe this is going to happen. I believe that. Well, what is happening, just so you know, is many, 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 many ships seen at nighttime. In a day's time around the world, everywhere. All right, that means there's probably millions of ships going around the planet. Second of all, there's a lot less ships seen during the day. Common sense says they don't want to be seen. If they come out during the day, you can actually see the ship. At nighttime, you can only see lights if they put their lights on. All right, outside of that, you can't see a ship. All right, the same as satellites. Satellites don't have lights on them. 90%, 99% of satellites do not have a light on them, and they're small. Over your house, TJ?
Yeah. That was over my house, and me, my partner, and a few neighbours saw it. It started off as a big flash and an object in the sky. There it is there. So that's a solid object way, way up in the sky. Yes, it was in the atmosphere. No, it wasn't a lantern. It wasn't an aeroplane. Wasn't anything else. Just a flash in the sky, and that was it. And may I add, that was a triangle object 2 days before that, in the size of that. And that's taken with my phone from my garden up in the air. And there it was at a distance. It was like a flash, and then it went like that. And then it kind of flashed again and turned into this like triangle thing, like a pyramid. And then I'm trying to get it so you can actually see it there. So it's not a blur with the camera. It's a round object. See that? It's not a plane, has no lights on it, and that's inside our atmosphere. So it's not a satellite because they operate way above our atmosphere, people. So we've had loads of, and then the day before that, I think, well, a couple of days before that, I'm just trying to find this. My partner, let me just try and get his one up, had a fantastic, caught a rod outside of my garden. Look at that.
Oh, wow.
That was the one from last year. I think they must live around it. Look at that one.
Okay.
So yeah, just to prove it's been on that's my CCTV.
Tell the people what you think a rod is. So
I don't know. People said at first that they're small objects and they thought they were moths. Some guy, scientific guy, measured this and the speed and the shutter speed in the camera, and he estimated that thing to be about 6 feet long, traveling so quickly. We don't have moths and bugs that are at least 6 feet long, because that stretch of my garden is absolutely huge. And that's the little one. I've got a bigger one from the year before. That was outside this. So that's my bedroom window open. There's my security camera. And that's there outside my window.
Well, Jose Escamillo died 2 years ago, roughly. But he was filming rods most of his life.
Look at that. That was one of those great big long cigar ships. That was outside my house the same night as a rod, and about 4 nights ago. That is absolutely huge, guys. And that's taken out there, just literally outside my house. Look up and you just take a picture. Hold on, see if I've got another one. So I was walking my dog. So there's a shot. I was walking my dog in the daylight about 1.5 years, 2 years ago. Just stopped in the middle of the day, looked up. Don't know what made me look up, and someone was just telling me to look up. So I looked up. Just took that picture like a blue flash out of the sun. So there's the picture there, huge blue flash. Literally, I was looking up. So I'll zoom it in. See, look, nothing there. Picture of the sun flashed in, and I was stood downstairs. Right. This is the second picture, guys. So a second later, I took another picture. Look at that in the sun where that blue flash was. That triangle object there. Hold on. Hold on. See it? Is that grey object there? Hold on, let me try and get it bigger.
Everybody, Tina doesn't have time to make up games, make up fake pictures to put on the internet. She's got too many things going on in her life right now. You can barely see it, Tina.
Let me try and get a better. I'll try and get a snapshot and try and enlarge it. Hold on.
It's super bright.
Yes, because it was a picture of the sun. Oh, there you go. Hold on. I'm just gonna. Oh, so close. Oh, bugger. Hold on. Me and technology. Oh, that's probably the better. Hold on. It's because it's. See the grey there? It's because it's the picture. I'll message you later. I'll send it on Messenger. Oh, bloody thing. I'm used to technology.
Barely could see it.
So that was so you get loads, not just at night. You get them during the day, not just exclusive to night round here. You'll see them during the day, and I've not just seen them. My neighbours have seen them. My partner's seen them, and that was it. My partner. Let me just have a quick look. So Tommy's right. There was a whole stop on UFO activity for quite a while, good few months, but it started again recently. So let me just get my partner's because he was outside. Oh, and caught it on video as well. This other thing, this object. No, I won't know.
Well,
1 second.
What I just want to get into real fast is like all these ships around the planet, what's happening and what they're doing. I just heard a whole story that.
There's that one.
Check this out, people. Mr. Snowden said years ago.
There's a corner of my house there. That dark shadow is a corner of my house. There is it in the sky. And I actually caught a video of it. So there's a picture of the moon. And there's this object. It was absolutely huge, flashing in the sky. And look, when the flashing stopped, it was an object like that. See it? Can you see that white object?
Yes, we can see that.
And I took a video. Actually, I took a video as well as pictures. So if you check out my Facebook, it's on my Facebook, guys. Tommy, sorry.
All right, what I want to say is, okay, with all these ships around the planet on a nightly basis, it's not like what people say, well, if they wanted to come here and destroy us or hurt us, they would. No, they don't want to destroy the planet. Realize that, people. If they did, it would be gone. That's obvious. But they are here, and they are doing something, and there is a reason for it. Now, why would they be over congested cities more than over the ocean things? Because they are watching things, what's going on and what's happening. I mean, they do have army bases here already, people. I know there's one where my friend lives. I went out there, and I saw these ships coming out of it all night. So I'm going to try to get in touch with this person. He died, John Edmonds. See if the ranch is still open, see if she wants people to come out there or not, or what's going to happen to it. But it's only like a mile away from an army base, alien army base. And so many things are going on during the night there. I drove past it. John took me out there and says, here it is. I said, where's the base? Oh, no, you can't see it. I thought it was a regular Air Force base by the ships I saw coming out of it and things I saw happening. But, people, right now, there's so many alien ships around the planet, and they all have an agenda. Now, if their agenda was to help us, people, which is a lie, they're not here to help us, or they would be. It's like saying, I always say this, if you're walking the street with your son, and you're coming up to a green light, and it changes to red, and your son's walking out real fast into light, do you stop him or do you let him go? Hopefully, if you got brains, you stop them. So if aliens were helping, wouldn't they? Or try to help us? And they haven't. Now, in all of the time that we've been dealing with them, which was a long time, since about 1940s till now, have they done anything important to show mankind that they're helping them? But now we have all these UFO people coming out saying they're helping us. Hold on, I got to let my guy in.
So these are UFO people, I presume, that Tommy's talking about that don't have first-hand experience. I mean, most of the guys, I'm not talking about the general public, most of the guys in UFO world are absolutely great. They are either experiencers or professional watchers in their spare time, and they will go out. You have the Sky Watchers groups. Is it the C5s? I know Hampshire has one or two. They're great guys, and they will go out, and they're professional people that will go out, they will watch, so look at the sky, record what objects they're seeing, and they do like a follow-up. So there are people that do take a scientific view. You do get the occasional people, but more and more now, and that's not just because people make it up and coming forward, it's because people are looking at the skies more. People do now have equipment. They have night sky stargazer binoculars. They have night vision. They have a monocular. So they have more and more equipment to view the sky, which is why more people are coming forward. Then people nowadays know what an aeroplane. A child knows the difference between a plane, a balloon, and a UFO. So it's very condescending to a lot of adults when they say you don't know what you're talking about. However, a lot of experience stuff, whether it be in their mind, sleep, or they've seen something, but they don't know what it is. Then you have, which is a lot of people, and you can't put anyone down for that because, and if they say yes, it's the people that do, and I'm not knocking, and people that have these lovely, what I call hairy fairy experiences, all love and light, and they do this. I've never met, and from what they describe, is no reality that I've ever seen. So I can't dismiss it and say no, that's total bull. You know, I'd never do that, but I'm just saying that what it sounds like. But when you're a survivor or victim, or you've experienced these things firsthand, I consider those people experts. I'm not an expert in aircraft, don't claim to be. I know what they look like. I lived mainly from an airport all my life, so I know it when I see an airplane in the sky. I know it when I see a weather balloon in the sky. I know it when I see a helicopter, a blimp, and I know things when they're not supposed to be there. So, you know, every human has an intelligence. You know, most of my family were military or naval, so I do know a little bit about machinery and things. So I'm not, you know, a silly, light-headed woman. And so you can identify things. But what makes people like me and Tommy, not condescending, I don't want to be that in any way, but I'm not forceful, but I come from a place where people don't like to hear the truth. And the truth is when you're abducted, when you're taken on this craft, people don't like what you're saying because they don't want to know the truth. It's so horrifying. They want to be blind to the truth. They don't want to hear the fact that you're a victim of a war crime. I was on a radio show recently. He said, do you know what, Tina? I think Casualties of Mars, very good people. Tune into their radio show, guys, and listen. Very good people. And he said, Tina, you've got a very valid point. If you went to Somalia nowadays, I'm not just choosing Somalia, there's no particular reason, just one out of my head. And then I went to Somalia and said, hold on, a group of soldiers or unidentified men or beings in uniforms came into my room. They cut my stomach open, took my child, they took bits and pieces out of me. They stabbed me and burnt my legs and put objects in my nose, in my mouth, and in my legs. And I was held against my will. I didn't give consent to this. And I was psychologically and physically and mentally abused. You'd have every personnel, aircraft carrier, helicopter, military, army, war crimes commission, the Hague Convention. You'd have every single person in the world there saying that I've been a victim of war crimes and of war crimes. So why aren't abductees given that same not forced? Why aren't abductees given that same exemption? Why aren't we believed just because I'm white and I've been abducted? Or it's not just me, there's millions of people around the world, not just me in this country, other millions, other people have been taken. I just want to be not an advocate for it, but I've seen it from people don't come into this field. Yeah, I want to be famous. I do this now because I want to get the word out. Why should I suffer and be a victim? I'm not being compensated. I'm not getting any extra help. And I'm not getting any extra help, painkillers, medical bills, assistance. And I feel quite bereaved about that because if I was a victim of a war crime in another country, I'll be looked after and given 5-star treatment. And there's poor people in other countries that don't have the internet, that can't speak out, that can't say they've been abducted, or a member of their families died because they've been abducted. That's stuff you can never take back. It's stuff that sticks with you. They don't have a voice. So I'm all with them, and I'm with Tommy. Tommy's experienced the same thing. Just because he's not screaming and shouting about it, and he's an older gentleman, doesn't mean to say he doesn't have feelings. He's not experienced this. Just because he doesn't want to put flowers in his hair and jump about and say, yes, I was abducted and it was all alien and light. There's two sides to every coin. If that's the light side, which I must hold my hands up, and I've never seen. So, I'm not knocking that. I haven't seen that. I can only tell you what I've seen. And what I've seen is I've been frozen.
Tina, I sent you a link of a video. I don't know if you watched it with Gary Nolan.
Oh yeah, I haven't had a chance to watch it yet. Literally, I'll come home
to watch it
today. Yeah,
because basically what's happening right now, the government went to him with 100 people that have been abducted. He's a scientist. He's doing research on DNA and cancer and everything. They wanted him to analyze these people. He was allowed to talk to them if they're alive and see what's going on and how he feels about it, what evidence they have. Basically, he came up with 80% of the people have interference syndrome. All right? That's what they call it. But they said the other 20% were actually abducted. And that's what he came up with. Not that he's right. He's not even close to being right, but that's what he came up with. That he's dealing with the government and they want to know what's happening to these people. What's making them die. It all has to do with how it affects the brain when they get abducted. See, people don't talk about that. Remember, people can.
So I've just come across some interesting. I can't divulge a person's name, and maybe in a few weeks I can. A relative of mine, a very close relative of mine, has recently had. So I'm not talking about my mother. My mother has a brain tumor which doesn't grow. It's grown and then stopped growing. They don't know why. She hasn't measured every year. Another relative of mine has had a brain tumor cured. So they did whatever they had to do, got it. Sadly, she's dwindling. They cured the brain tumor, which is really unusual. And something else is taking the life of this person at the moment. So nothing to do with the brain, my ad. So, which is very, very curious to that. But this person this has happened to is a very close relative, and said to me she has scarring on her belly that they asked about when she was younger and when she had children. That she had marks on her today. This lady's quite an elderly lady. Said she couldn't account for. She never knew where they come from her whole life.
Well, what I want to talk about that nobody does, I've been involved with it for many years. It's called the HAARP system, HAARP system. All right, what they can do with that. Now, very people understand it, believe it, or even know about it. But basically, they can send their little beam around the world and hit anybody they want to. They could put thoughts inside their mind. All right. Now, Jesse Ventura exposed that about, I don't know how many years ago, 4 or 5 years ago. And he went to the White House. And the person that was involved with doing it, he said to him, he goes, why would you do something like that? He goes, well, because we didn't know what we were going to really do with it when we came up with it. Meaning they didn't know what they were going to do with the HAARP system when they started playing with it. But there was a show on many years ago about abductees, and the government people came in and said, well, and they had these computer screens, and they said, well, mostly people dream, and when they reach a certain frequency, they're going to see a gray. And they came up with this whole story, how come most people that have these experiences see a gray. Not that there's more grays coming here, but that's what most people see. But now I want to get into the fact that they can send a beam out and hit a person and give them a complete illusionary dream or experience. So the government can do things as well.
They can do that, but they can't put marks inside your body.
Oh, no, I'm not saying inside your body. No. I'm not trying to downplay what's happening.
Oh, no. That's what I'm saying. So I totally believe that 100%, because if I don't know a lot about things like that, so I'm not really going to comment. I can only tell you a very intelligent man, actually, David Hodrian, was talking to me about screen memories, and I have no idea what I've never heard the word before. And when he was investigating my case, he spoke to me about things like that, and I didn't realize any of these things really ever existed. I never knew what, and I was absolutely gobsmacked and fascinated in what turned up in the UFO world. And I only went looking for help and answers. I did, I wanted, you know, you know, who do you turn to? Who do you tell? And who do you ask for? So, getting back to seeing UFOs, so you have groups you can report and see scientific evidence of. You have UFOs you can report to. There's an English Society, American, Scandinavian, Irish, British, Scottish, Welsh, English, all up and down the country and all over the world. So UFO reporting services and links and groups and clubs. But there isn't an abduction club you can physically go to and say, look at me, help me, where do I go, investigate this. You have to go somewhere to get someone's. I didn't even know that I needed to make an abduction report to just get help. So that is a worrying thing. So if you was a victim, you go to a police station, you go to a hospital. You could go to a hospital today and said, last night they abducted me and I think I've got something stuck in me, or I've got this blood coming out of me, or I'm vomiting blood, me and my partner are vomiting blood and we're losing hair and we're really bad and our teeth are falling out, or this has happened. They wouldn't believe you, but you have the physical evidence there. It's like the technology for rape victims has come so far. They do smears straight away. They collect evidence. They take clothing and samples and that. They do it on a quick basis when victims come forward. There's nothing put in place for people that have been abducted. If I was abducted by a maniac in a van, I'd go in for counselling. The police would come down. The person, the culprit, would be caught. They would get, the victim would get justice. You'd get help. There's nothing for people that have been abused by a different race. And I can't get them through people's heads. It's like they've got save the whale, very good cause. Save human life, very good cause. What happens to saving life to abductees? Somebody is hurting it at parts of the human race, not just me now, parts of our world population, whether it be any country, any minority, any majority around the world, in any country and any island. They're hurting human beings and nobody is standing up for us. Not our governments, not our police, not our military. They're laughing at us. People think that you're a joke. But all of a sudden, because the military have come forward and said, yes, here's the evidence, UFOs are real. Well, abductees have been saying that for years. You've got evidence in front of you. You have victims in front of you. What the hell are you going to do about it?
Well, that's a serious problem, Tina. I thought about that when I was working with women that have been abducted, lost their children in the early 70s. All right. I wasn't going to get paid. I wasn't writing books on it, but I was helping them survive the situation. All right. Working through hypnosis and different things with them. But you get a child taken away, that's going to screw your life up forever. And then you tell anybody that story, they're just going to laugh at you the rest of your life.
Yeah.
It's sad because now somebody says they get raped and they got to say I got a blood sample or I got this or that. They'll do every analyzing that they can with that. Latina, this guy is the first person to be asked, and he wasn't a government person, to ask to analyze these 100 people that have been abducted. So the government is actually trying to figure out what it's doing and why. Not that they're going to help us.
If they want to come to my house, so I haven't got to pay to travel, if they're going to pay for me to have a day off work so I don't miss out, or I'm quite happy to do a day, come to my house, show your ID, and I'll tell you what, I'll give you as much blood. You can have hair samples or whatever you want. I don't care.
Well, Tina's a little different because she's radioactive right now. She's a dangerous situation going on in her body. But people, I get upset when I hear the word experiencer because Tina's right. The word is an abductee, not an experiencer. And every experiencer comes out with a great story. There is no great story that an alien can tell us, people. Prove it. Prove one story that any not abductee, an experiencer said. Because that's always, they came in my room, they took me and we traveled, we did this, we did that. But there's no evidence of something positive in any way about it other than the story they made. Did your friend check out Corey Good? Because he's the one that came out and said, well, the alien showed him the video his life. All right. And I'm not going to go into detail, but I don't believe any of it. Aliens can put any kind of thought in your head. Doesn't mean it's really happening. All right. If you create an image that somebody's going to see, you can create whatever image you want. Technology that they have is 1,000 times more advanced than we do. We are learning how to record dreams, people, just so you know. You got technology to do that now. So if you come out of your dream and says, well, this happened, they could check and see if it was a dream as well for people that say different things. But again, an experience is not like an abductee. I was in court and my judge said to me, I want to speak to you after the case is over. Everybody left the room and he brought me up to the platform and he goes to me, I was with my wife and we're driving across this road and this bright light came on a car and suddenly we don't remember a thing. This is the judge that was doing the court that I was involved in. So, you know, people are seeing things greatly and experience them. And now it wasn't a dream because her and his... Go ahead.
So what? Another thing I want to touch on. Tommy's right. When they're saying people, Tommy's right. It means everyday people like me and you and you know, anyone else you think there's, you know, what have you. But what about the people that have come forward with huge... You can't get huge credentials than a president of China or Japan or the president of the United States coming more forward and making a UFO claim that they've seen him. Was it I'm not sure if it was an aide, a president, or a foreign MP in the States, Chinese or Japanese, I think it was Chinese, said that he was abducted by aliens while visiting the States on a conference to the UN or the White House or somewhere. And was it JFK actually made, I think more than one president actually has said that they've had, I want to get my facts straight, I know at least one, and I know you can name one, it was JFK, I believe, put a UFO report in. If presidents are putting UFO reports in, sea captains, there's something to what abductees are telling you. If it's good enough for doctors to see and presidents to report, it's happening to the human race, and I'm telling you, it is happening. I don't believe, I know, and that's the difference. Sorry, Tommy.
I'm going to try sharing the screen for just a couple seconds, Tina. I don't know what's going to happen to our screen while I'm doing it. All right, but I want to show two different things. Oh man, let's see if I can pull it up.
Oh wow!
Well, I don't want to share that.
Yeah.
I want to share this. Let me see if I can pull up what I want to share. Okay, that's not what I want to share. Let me try a different way. Let me try one more thing here. It says share screen, video file. How about that? How about all these weird things coming up? I want just to show pictures that I have on my camera, on my computer. I don't know. It's not happening. What I'm going to do is, let me do this. All right. I'm going to take the camera. And let me go back and forth. You can see it?
Yeah.
All right. That looks like a stingray.
Mm-hmm.
400 people were supposedly that saw that. All right. Now let's go to the next one. Now this is a video a friend of mine in Japan shot.
That looks very real.
So, and I want to tell you a short story about this person. He's not crazy. He was the owner of my property when he lived in Hawaii. All right. Let me go back to this screen. All right.
He's a Zen priest.
Okay. He's a Zen priest. So he's not delusional in any way that I can tell you. But when I first met him, when we moved on to his house that he was letting us rent, I worked with him. He was doing photography. He created a fortune-telling deck and all this, and he's really famous in Japan. But he said to me, I want to tell you the experience because he knew I was into UFO world. He says he was down by the coast in Hawaii with a Japanese family. And about 100 feet from them, from the shoreline, they were looking at the ocean, a giant ship came out and just went straight up into the sky.
A lot of people have said that around the world that they've seen that.
And he said they started clapping. They didn't know what else to do, but they were clapping at the ship that was going into the sky. So, and he had a couple other experiences I won't get into in detail, but people that I know are my friends that I trust, and they're not going to lie, and they're not trying to make me believe something that I don't believe in. So, when I talk about things, you have to realize I deal with the truth only. Now, I've been getting all kinds of junk mail. I've been getting all kinds of weird stuff. I'm not going to say that it's important because it's not. When people send me UFOs, I want to know the person because, there's so many fake pictures online. So, yeah, I'm not saying that they're destroying the UFO world because there's thousands of more pictures of real ships coming out every day now, which is really important for the UFO people. But here's Tina. This is what I want to say. It's more important now to understand why they are here. Not that you can see a ship. I got a book. You can see ships anytime, and I'll give it to anybody that wants it for free. But if you want to see and understand what's happening, we got to get deeper into what's going on with these.
Let me just stop you there, Tommy. There's two bits of news actually, a couple of bits of news. Firstly, I'll try and look at you got more access to the American sites over here than I do in Britain. Excuse me. You apologise, people. I do apologise. Very unprofessional. Two couple of things, guys. So, in May 20th, Saturday the 20th, and Sunday, May the 21st, 2023, there will be an Encounters conference in Bishop's Waltham in Southampton. And they will be from 8:30 on the Saturday, 20th May 2023. And the doors closes that night. And again, on the Sunday, I've got fantastic speakers lined up. Please come. You can go to my website, which is on Wix, or go onto Facebook under Encounters. There's a Facebook group called Encounters. Go there, click on the Wix website, click on RSVP, scroll down, and you can buy tickets, £30 a ticket. There's less than 250 left. Actually, I think maybe less than that. So there's not many left. They are going fast. It's for next year. So that is Encounters on Saturday, May the 20th and Sunday, May the 21st at Bishop's Waltham Jubilee Hall in Southampton in Hampshire. Now, getting back to what Tommy was just saying, there is a speaker, two speakers we're going to have there. And one is going to be called Gary Heseltine. And Mr. Gary Heseltine is, he's been on Ancient Aliens. He's a retired policeman, very top of his guard. And he's vice president of International Coalition, I think it's ICAR. He's vice president, and he's coming to Southampton to speak. He's widely renowned in Hampshire. We have a lady from Marshall Van Summers. So very interesting gentleman. Marshall Van Summers has sold millions of books all around the world. He has an advocate called Lorraine Wilkins. She goes to every UFO event. She gives away free books on his behalf, and she tells you about it. He has sold millions of books, this gentleman, and his advocate will be there speaking her piece. So Gary will hopefully tell you a bit about his history. He's editor of the UFO Truth magazine. Gentleman's just come back from Brazil. Huge, vast experience in the UFO field. Has been on daytime TV as well. We also have David Hodrin. He's the vice president of ICAR in Britain. He's also a chairman of Birmingham UFO Group and an investigator. There's also Ben Emlyn James. He is also an author. He will be there. Now, there's another gentleman, another speaker, who's coming on Sunday. So he is Andy Thomas. Now, Andy is top of his field in the UFO world for crop circles. Being in Hampshire and Salisbury and Wiltshire, we have the biggest amount of crop circles, I think, rather than accumulated each year anywhere in the world, is here in the UK, a stone's throw from literally where I live. So Andy will be coming down, giving you talks about that as well. And I will be also giving my account of what's happened to me. And I will be sitting on the UFO panel. There will be a panel meeting at the end of each meeting. So there'll be questions about crop circles. If any of you would like to come, please purchase a ticket via the Encounters website, Facebook group. And please put on there any questions you'd like to ask the UFO panel about anything up and coming. But that also links to a question that Tommy just related to about UFOs. The International Coalition, which Gary Hesseltine is vice president of, they're a group of scientists and like-minded gentlemen have come together, and women and scientists, and now hand in hand with the UFO community. Some of them have the military. I think Gary Hesseltine is a very well linked person, really knows his stuff. Now they're sharing information. So it's not all digging up old stuff from Roswell and revisiting old stuff. This is modern day technology stuff moving forward, how we're seeing the world, what they come out with UFOs, what information they find, and where they sighted them. They're looking into cases that, and he's just come back from Brazil, I believe. So there is a coalition around the world from the UFO group. Please have a look, Tommy. We've got some few people in the chat room. So is that Jeanette? If I'm pronounced that correctly. I don't know what your book is, but if you pop it up, we might be able to have a read of it. Let me know what that is. And Rosa, please send me the book, Tommy. So they got not quite what book she referring to. One of yours.
Okay, my UFO book.
Send her a link to it. Tommy's just going to put Rosa. Jeanette, Tommy's going to put his email up or a link. There it is. So there's StreamYard. If you'd like to come on, if you feel you'd like to come on to our show, there is a link. Tommy will send you his email address any second now. There you go.
It should be up already.
So if you go down the side of the screen, guys, you'll see Tommy's email, and it's hawksblood1@aol.com. That's hawksblood1@aol.com. Please message Tommy, and he can send it to you via email link if you would like that. Tommy, anything else before we move on with the next part of our show? Any more info?
Well, let's get into the important thing. That's what's going on with Tina right now. We both got a Geiger counter, and she's been going up and down with the levels of radiation to her body. Oh, I forgot to send this link to my friend. Oh no. All right, I'm going to send it.
My Geiger count has disappeared. I always put it back in the same place. Let me just check, make sure I haven't put it anywhere else. And I always take it out of there and pop it back in there because I don't use it for anything else. I used to take it out on like field trips with me. How very strange.
I've been carrying a bag around with me that has cameras and Geiger counters and lasers and everything in it all the time now.
I've got it.
Okay.
Guys, so this is Tommy, you still got your thing on a split screen. It's smaller for some reason.
I don't know. I can't. I
think it's because you went on to show the other thing, the pictures. Don't worry about it. So this is it, guys. So me and Tommy, this is my second one. My first one, I think I dropped at Christmas last year in soup or tea or something like that. Me and Tommy had exactly the same one. Tommy said to me, I wasn't feeling well one day and I was telling him what was wrong. He said, Tina, go and get a Geiger counter. So I thought he was joking. Man knows his stuff. So what I did, I went on Amazon, got one of these for about 20 quid, $22 £20. That's it. So that's my Geiger counter. It is an electrical magnetic field. I've got to put my glasses on now to read it.
There we are, back to normal.
So it's an electromagnetic radiation tester. So what you do, you just pop it on there, and it should come up. Now I have a smart screen TV, so it doesn't emit radiation now because no one said that. Zoom it up. So you see the last year, this hasn't twitched when I put it towards my TV. It's now 5. So I don't think it's my TV. No, it's dropping down. So as you can see, guys, it's not my TV. The second I hold it towards me, and there you go, it's going up. So I'm going to hold it back towards Tommy. So closer I get, the lower it's going to get. But when I hold it towards me, this is what happens. So the numbers ain't too bad. They're quite low. So the red beeping is to tell you, see that harmful. So I'm emitting a harmful electrical magnetic signal from my brain and neck. Harmful.
Mine's a little bit lower today, believe it or not.
Yeah, this is it. A couple of weeks ago, it was like on 200, 300, 400. I mean, that literally not just 0.0. It was up like on the fours. This side's quite low because 0.99 or 107. This side's normally like 3 or 4, isn't it?
Oh, right now mine's up to 225 on the top. The
No, mine is one something. Yeah, 114, 120, 130. But
the most bizarre thing, people, when I put my Geiger counter on her face on the screen, I'm getting a readout of radiation, which I never get when I'm doing anything else other than putting it next to her face.
So yeah, this is, so I'm going to put it towards me again so people can see. So not doing anything to it, literally just holding it.
Only when I point it to her this way. It's at 100 and it just stopped. Oh, now it's going back up. I got a 50 reading on yours. If you turn it around, you get a different reading and a little more powerful when you point them back at it, because I guess that's the way it sends it.
I've just got my glasses pretty close then.
But I get high radiation from my screen on my computer.
So there you have, guys. So I'm just going to turn off now. I was going to keep beeping because it's a bit close to me. So there you go. So, you know, me and Tom, that happens to me and Tommy a lot. So Tommy was also right on that. So he's been quite right on a lot of things.
I want to switch over to my new TV screen. Maybe that will have less radiation. I got to check it out to see if I can get my computer to work.
Check it. I'm hoping 1 week, maybe 2 out of the whole 2 years, 2.5 years, nearly 3 years soon. Me and Tommy have been doing this, I think. That thing's been silent once or twice. I had no reading whatsoever. Maybe even been 3, but no more than that. And I thought, wow, I'm impressed with that. And when it goes high, I worry. I do get worried, people. But Tommy, anything else?
Well, I don't know if you want to get into anything else, Tina, but I always got stuff to get into. Now, getting back to Mr. Stephen Greer, I've been dealing with him greatly, writing letters, and did a whole show on it. People are believing aliens are going to help us, and they're going to go out and talk to aliens. Now, why I'm going after Stephen Greer, he claims to be like the creator of disclosure. And now suddenly he has millions of dollars, and he's going to be building a center for UFO people. But he's going to have classes there to teach people how to talk to aliens.
Can I stop you there? You need to find out anybody that does know that. I have nothing against anybody in the UFO world. I'm a supporter. And if you're not really a supporter and you want to find out more, then fair play. But you shouldn't join the UFO field just to slag everybody off because you don't know. But I'm going to say with that, unless you are an actual genuine abductee, you do take an offense to a lot of things. And that really gets my goat to say they try to make airy-fairy lightness of it. And that really upsets me. But yeah, I want to know what they classify as contact. Because contacts happen to me. It's happened to Tommy. It's happened to millions of other people. So never discount that. They say, it's like if you're poor, you're not really a human being. But if you're rich, everyone takes notice of you, but you're still a human being. It's craziness. People have been abducted. They're telling you they've been abducted. They're giving you free, genuine insider information about what it's like, and nobody is paying attention or listening. This is happening. That is contact. When an alien's leaning over you, putting these visions in your head, that's contact. When they're putting things inside you and drilling holes in you and taking you from your room, entering your room physically where you are, that is contact. They are contacted. They're choosing to contact you. When they take you against your will, that's not really contact, is it? Is it? Because taking someone against their will is pretty much contact, mate. Sorry, Tommy, over to you.
Sir Harriman, I saw him here in Hawaii. Well, he gets a group of people. He does a workshop for $500 for the weekend. But then the last hour or two of his workshop, he wants to take all the people on the Galactic Confederation ship. and he makes them go into meditation and stuff like that. When you do any kind of meditation with a group of people, you're pulled into that energy. A rock star goes out on stage, starts singing. The audience all becomes addicted to that energy, and it becomes a massive energy that stimulates the singer as well. But it's kind of a programming idea, sound, or voice. When he says, close your eyes, think about nothingness, and then now we're going to bring the light and bring the ship into our focus and bring you on a ship. So it's called hypnosis. I studied hypnosis half. I gave it up later on. But in that, I learned so many things. Like you and Kreskin used the word mass hypnosis was the power of suggestion. So Hitler worked with a group of people, but he gave them the suggestion, well, this is the way it is, and this is the way it is, and people accepted it. So when we hear this story about him taking people on a ship, or now Mr. Greer taking people out to the mountain, and they see UFOs. You're going to see UFOs, and they're around, and I proved this. I could show you by all the pictures we shot. Orbs and ships come around energy. I'm not saying they're all directly aliens, but entities and dimensional beings do come around any kind of form of energy.
They also, like you typically said, mountains. The UFOs I've seen, and what from people have told me of my own basic judgment, and from what they've shown me, more importantly, what they've shown me is they like something to do with volcanism. They're so interested in whether it's the energy for it, how it's done, how it affects planets. That's something they're deeply into, or that's part of their society, or that's how they get their energy. So it doesn't surprise me people go to mountains to see these things, and it doesn't surprise me even through like years that you see in the Bible. I don't want to start you off on that, but you had all these people that went up mountains and saw UFOs and had experiences. That's wrote down and believed. If I walked up a mountain and said I saw a UFO, people probably wouldn't believe me, but just look up outside my house and you can see one. You don't need to go to mountain, but they're attracted to volcanoes and things like that. Sorry, Tommy.
Well, the other thing I wanted to bring out real fast, Mr. Greer is promoting. The government offered him $2 billion to walk away from the UFO world.
They can give me that.
This week, he says it every couple months. Well, I was offered $2 billion to walk away from the UFO world. All right. To me, there's no possible way the government would offer him that kind of money. The greatest UFO people were taken out, and it wasn't about $2 billion. And they sure wouldn't have to pay that kind of money to get somebody taken out today. I lost 16 of my friends in the past 20 years, basically, in the UFO world. So here's the thing, people. If the government's going to take you out, like when David Wilcox said, oh, they're going to try to kill me. And he was crying. And all these people come out and say that. Billy Meyer said he was shot at and attacked 21 times and lived through it. Luckily, he didn't get taken out by it. But, if they really want to take you out, they do. I work with a native elder. His name, I'm not going to say his name because he's been persecuted so much. But the government came to his house, in front of his house, and they made him come out, and they ran him over. They busted all the bones in his body. All right. Then that didn't work. 6 months later, they told him he was going to do a TV show. And when he went out to do it, he was reprogrammed. All right. And he says aliens aren't real now. And he totally changed his whole story. But he was the first person about 35 years ago talking about Planet X and how it was going to come and all that kind of stuff. So they were on top of him. But now he can't do anything. They put his book everywhere. He can't even sell it. He got screwed so many different ways. It's really sad. But again, people, if you're going against the government and they don't like what you're saying, they stop it, period. But I don't know why the government would let him keep saying, oh, this is what he said, Tina. You got to hear this.
Or they go to your friend's workplace and speak to them.
But here's what he said. Stephen Greer said this directly. I heard him say it 3 different times. We don't need a government. We just need to talk to aliens.
They don't. You need a government, but they're not protecting us. They might be, but they're not telling us.
Again, what he's saying is ridiculous. And I don't know why he's not being stopped. That would be a terrorist thing, saying we don't need a government. Let's talk to aliens. And then he's bringing people out to talk to aliens. So he's actually leading a revolt against our own government. So I don't understand why the government's not stepping in on that, or why they're letting him create this big center. There has to be a reason. I don't know what that reason is yet. Anybody have any ideas? Please send me a link. Tell me what you think. I want to find out any more details about that. I don't like Stephen Greer. I didn't when I first started lecturing in UFO world in 1996. I had a friend do complete investigation in him. He went to the hospitals he said he worked at. He did all this research on him. Found out 90% of it wasn't real. All right. And this was in 96. Suddenly he became super famous in the UFO world. All right. Where did he get his money? Where did he get his start? Why did he give up being a doctor? A doctor is much more important than being a supposedly UFO. But in the interim, what has he done for the UFO world? And what has he proven at any level? Nothing. So people, if you're going to follow people in the UFO world, check their history, check what they're doing, and see what they're really bringing out. Tina is one of the few people that's trying to help people understand what happens for real, not the storyland part of it, the truth, people. Like I said, I don't bring people on this show unless I know they're going to be talking about the truth.
Something did. I didn't say anything to a young lady. I went to a conference recently, and this girl, woman actually, she's about, I presume she's about 30, 40 years old. And she starts talking away. She comes over, and I was talking to a couple of people. And she sits there smiling away, and she said, "Oh, they never have nothing about abductees." And I said, "Oh, are you an abductee then?" And she says, "Yes, I'm a light experiencer." And I just wanted to look across the table and slap her on the face. I said, "Oh, so you know, I've been summoned, and I've seen the light, and I know the way, and I can talk to them." I'm like, "So you've never really been taken against your will and strapped to a bed and been kind of tortured and shown babies they've taken away from you, and they've showed you horrific things in your head. So you've been." Yeah,
I did a show 3 days ago, roughly, about all these names of people that are claiming multiple things. Like this one lady's really famous. She's doing workshops, leading people. I can't even say her name, but she claims she's the head of the Galactic Confederation. All right.
Enough to me,
Then we have another person that's saying that they're just about God and puts up all this stuff every day. I wrote all their names, and I wanted everybody check them out. Check what they're really doing. Check who they are, and see where they're trying to take people. All right.
You should just be genuine to yourself. There are so many wrongdoers, and most of it comes, they say, from the UFO field. But recently, since I put on my event, I've had people that have been threatening to me, sending me nasty messages on Facebook, making up fake accounts to say things against my speakers, being malicious towards me, putting nasty comments out there. And I'll put up on my Facebook, if you don't like it, there's the exit button. Feel free and press it on your way and unlike me. I don't care. I'm past giving monkeys anymore. But if you don't want to be in the UFO world, then don't be. Why are you in there?
Exactly. So people, Tina wasn't here last week. I miss her a lot when she doesn't come on.
I do apologize again for that. I had a rough
we got life happens around us as well. People, you know that. So anybody that wants to come on, send me an email. Send me what you want to talk about. We're open for questions, any questions pertaining to the subject. I do semi-spiritual work talks and stuff during the week as well. So if you want truth, and that's all I can deal with. I can't give you lies. I can't make up stories. I can only tell you based on actual experiences that I had. Tina does the same thing with her personal life. So if you want the truth, this is the place to come, people.
Guys, sorry to cut to again. Guys, so we've run out of time. If I'd like some answers, and the best way to get answers, I don't know it all. I only know what I know, and when I want to know something, I ask people, try and find people that can help me or answer my question. You are the best, not judges of us, but you are the best source of information because you're interested. You come on the show, you look in, you send us messages, emails, etc. We want some feedback. Tell us where we're going right, where we're going wrong. You're normally good at that. But I want answers. What's happened to all this UFO clubs in America? They've all gone silent. And in Britain, what's happening to this defense council that was made up in the US of A that was going to look at, they had a massive hearing recently, public hearing about 5-6 months ago. Nothing. We've had no feedback, no backup from that. We would like some questions answered. If you know a question, like Tommy said, or an answer from the previous show, and me and Tommy don't know, please message. You've got Tommy's emails up there, and message him or message me. Ask us, and we try and find out. But we are asking you, if you've got answers to any of our previous shows or answers to any of the questions we asked, please come on and let us know. We only know, we only know what you guys know or tell us, and we can give you feedback. But Tommy, as always, it's been great, guys. I do apologise for last week, but I'm looking forward to next week. And with that, Tommy, goodbye. I'm from Southampton here in the UK. You've been a famous host in Hawaii, and anybody in Hawaii, America, or anywhere around the world watching this, you can just come to England, get on a plane, or if you're even in England, buy a ticket and come to Encounters event. You'll meet me there, and you'll also meet Gary Hesseltine. You'll meet David Hodgson there, Lorraine Wilkins, Ben Evelyn Jones, and you meet Andy Thomas and myself, and you may even see a few other people walking around. You never know what alien you might bump into. So, Tommy, I'll see you next week. If not, guys, I'll see you at Encounters next year, May 2023. From me in Southampton, bye-bye. Tommy in Hawaii, I'll see you next week. It's been great.
Bye, Tina.
Bye-bye.
Always great.
Bye, John.
Okay, everybody. Tina Bird, great person. She's probably becoming one of the biggest names in the abductee field right now. I hope she survives as well, because she's been dealing with a lot of sick problems with her body and things like that. But also, she has much more truth than most UFO abductees do have. And the government kind of cut down on that pretty hard. When she was in hospital, the video that was shot of them cutting something out of her stomach, they took it and they never let her see it. She actually went to court to try to get to see that video, and they said it's too controversial. How could an operation of your own stomach be too controversial to release to the world, or release to her even? All right. Thank you, people coming into my chat room. I appreciate it. Realize we deal with truth. You have questions, real questions, please, anytime. If you have something really important to say, I don't like bad people coming on, but clones, drones, or whatever words you want to use from trolls. But if you have something important to say, please come on. I'm open to truth only. And I don't want, I had once in all my serving of with TJ Morris and my own personal shows, I have one person we had on that came on. I got this incredible story, and he talked for maybe 15 minutes. But you dumb people, this was and then he just went off. But I don't like trolls. I don't think anybody does. But if they come on, what can you do? You can't do much until you figure it out. So like I said, I'd like to talk to a person before I bring them on a show, see where they're coming from, see what they want to talk about, what they know. Truth only. You got truth about UFOs and aliens anytime. We're open to it. We want to hear it and want to put it out there mainstream. Anybody can see a ship. Seriously, it's not complicated. You're willing to put a couple weeks into it, you'll see a ship. I promise you. But is that going to change your life? Is it what you really want to do? Is it going to help you in your life? Now, realize when you open yourself up to something, more of it manifests in your reality. You don't even have to open up yourself to it and it comes into your reality. But when you do, you bring more of it into it. Like you play with a Ouija board, you're bringing spirits into your reality. When you do things and put attention on it, it happens. The same as with money. All right, if you put when The Secret came out, just focus on money and you'll get rich. And they made people believe that. I'm not even going to get in his story because he actually ended up having, not directly, intentionally, kill a couple people. He did a sweat lodge and they all were hallucinating. And that's what he thought. But they were dying from asphyxiation, and 4 people died. 10 people had to be rushed to the hospital. And while it was happening, he goes, "Oh, we're tripping. We're going into the inner dimensions and blah, blah, blah." Well, people, again, Tommy Hawksblood here. I'm on the Big Island. In the past couple of days, I saw a couple of ships. This morning, I saw 2 ships. I went out for about 10 minutes, and the clouds were covering everything. But I have a monocular, and I could see through clouds that are weak, and I could see through the sun. So, the ships stars don't just disappear because the sun comes out. All right, the same as ships are there during the day, but it's 1,000 times harder to see them. I tell people, you want to send money, buy me a a third generation night vision glasses, and I'll show you thousands of pictures of ships every week. If you buy yourself a pair, you'll see so many things. It's incredible. I only got to use it 1 hour once, and it was so impressive, but they're $3,500. Third generation night vision glasses. They might even be up to fourth generation. They were given to us by aliens many years ago. All right. You can see in complete dark, but you can see all the way up to the stars, anything moving in there, which is so incredible. Just check it out online. Night vision glasses, fourth generation, third generation, and check them out. I almost bought a pair for $1,500, but my friend in the UFO world said he was going to be killed, and he died the next week. So I never got them. But people, go outside, look at the sky, go out on a clear night, spend an hour or two. Don't focus on one little spot of the sky. Leave your eyes like widespread, because you won't be able to see things moving all the way on the side of your eye if you're focusing on something directly. So the book's real simple. I got a couple of things. I do get into a couple of spiritual sides of things as well. But people, if you bring the UFO world into your life, make sure it's something that you want. If you watch these ghost busting shows, they go into this place and they get attached to an entity or a demon. And then they feel, oh no, or they're possessed and things like that. You walk into something, know what you need to do, know about protection, and if you don't have protection, don't walk into the situation, ever. All right, people, Tommy Hawksblood here, calling from the Big Island of Hawaii. Hope you got something out of the show. Open for suggestions, comments, whatever. If you want to, friend me, so this way you'll always get the link to my shows. Go on YouTube, you'll see the friend me, and you'll get the links when I do a show come up as well. All right, people, peace, love, compassion. I'm not going to go longer today. I just did a show yesterday. Pull up that, check it out as well. Till next week on the UFO show.